So, there has been a lot of discourse online about Sonic Movie 3. More specifically, whether or not fan-favorite characters Amy Rose and Rouge the Bat will make their big screen debut in the movie. In my opinion, I personally do not see this happening. Let me explain. Is this video essentially me advocating for more humans in the Sonic movies? No, absolutely not. I was pretty scarred by the Wade the Whipple guy in Knuckles show, and I do not want that show's energy to be carried over to the movies. Do I want Amy and or Rouge in the Sonic movie series? Absolutely! All I'm suggesting is that realistically, trying to shove both Amy and Rouge into Sonic 3, a film that also has to deal with Shadow the Hedgehog and his overly complicated backstory, is not exactly the best idea. I have a couple of reasons why I believe this. Firstly, on a more practical level, I don't think Paramount wants to nuke the visual effects budget. Considering they already have to animate Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow, trying to add 2 more Sonic characters will only increase the budget and add to the stressful workload of those poor VFX artists. The movie is literally coming out in 8 months. I don't think that is enough time to properly animate 6 of these guys. There's also the issue about their voice actresses. We know that Paramount isn't going to cast any of the game actors for these roles. The only reason Colleen is here is because she was relatively cheaper to get than Tom Holland. This isn't to say that any of the Sonic VAs are doing a bad job, it's just that these studios are more confident in celebrity stunt cast than seasoned voice actors. So if they are going to add Amy and Rouge in Sonic 3, they also have to find celebrity voice actors for the both of them, thus constantly adding to the budget until it becomes unfathomably expensive. And I don't believe Paramount will take that risk, especially with what happened to Mission Impossible 7. Now, on a more story-focused level, trying to cram both Amy and Rouge into Sonic 3 will only lead to an overbloated mess of a movie. To give you a relevant example of what I'm talking about, do you remember Spider-Man 3? That movie had like a bajillion plots to juggle around. Whether it be the symbiote, Peter and MJ's relationship, Uncle Ben's killer, Harry's amnesia, Eddie Brock, Gwen Stacy, and so on and so forth. While yes, the movie is still enjoyable, I can't deny that the movie does not do a good job at handling these plotlines. The movie keeps flip-flopping from one subplot to another, and it leaves all the other subplots undercooked and rushed. If you want a Sonic-related example, take a look at Sonic Movie 2. Despite being in the logo of the movie, and being a major player in the marketing, Tails was practically sidelined in favor of Knuckles, barely getting any meaningful character development, to the point where he spent a good chunk of the second act in a coma. And that's what I'm kind of afraid Sonic 3 would do. Granted, it doesn't have as much baggage compared to Spider-Man 3, but trying to shove in these two will leave other plot threads rushed and half-baked, because now they have to focus some time on Amy and Rouge, instead of improving the Sonic characters that are already in the film. I feel like just adding Shadow and his backstory are more than enough to cover this entire movie, while still making the fans happy. I would much rather see one Sonic character be done right, than have 3 half-baked ones fighting for screen time. It honestly feels like Sonic fans don't want Sonic Movie 3 and want Sonic Adventure 2, the movie. You know that Sonic Movie 3 can do its own thing, right? It does not need to be a direct adaptation, you know? Though I do admit there is one way Amy and Rouge being shoved into Sonic 3 can work, and that is just pairing them up with pre-established characters. By doing this, not only can you gain some fun interactions between them, but you can also develop their characters while not diverting the focus away from the pre-established ones. If the people behind Sonic 3 decide to go with this approach, then I'd be happy with Amy and Rouge in Sonic 3. But if they don't do that, it's best if they stay out of this one. Well, that's all I want to say about this topic. I guess we'll just have to wait until December 20th to see what they'll do. And all will be revealed.
No, it won't! Yes, it will!